Board exam tips naman ang topic natin ngayon. For those who are new here, this is the Malditang Librarian channel where we talk about Philippine librarianship and board exam tips. So if that sounds interesting, then you can subscribe to this channel for updates. Kailangan mo ba ng review center for the board exam? Nung pinost ko yung schedule ng Librarians Licensure exam, nung January, marami nang nag-message sa page kung ano ba ang mga magandang review center at kung ano yung mga mare-recommend kong review center. So in the end of this video, I will tell you kung saan ako nag-review and what other review centers that I know of. To answer that question, I have previous videos about this. I made a video on review center ba or self-review for those who are trying to decide and self-review tips for the board exam. And I always say that the review center, the review classes are only tools for us to help us pass the board exam. We can't just rely on the review center to do all the work for us. We can enroll in a review center but hindi yun guarantee na papasa tayo sa board exam kung hindi tayo nag-exert ng sariling effort. Pero kung afford mo lang naman mag-enroll sa review center at may time ka, then I strongly encourage you to go because malaki rin ang maitutulong ng review center sa atin. In my case, nag-enroll ako sa review center but I also took time to review on my own and study on my own. I didn't just rely on a review center. Maraming nakapasa or even enter the top 10 kahit na hindi nag-enroll sa review center at meron namang mga nag-enroll nga sa review center pero hindi nakapasa ng board exam. Kundi nasa tao talaga if gusto niyang pumasa ng board exam at kung nag-exert siya ng effort to pass the board exam. I recommend review centers kasi nga there are also advantages to that. Yung isa sa mga nakikita kong advantage is the review center has a consistent schedule at makakatulong ito lalo na sa mga medyo walang time or mas kailangan ng disiplina sa study. So for example, like ako, if I schedule my study, medyo kailangan ko pang pilitin yung sarili ko to really focus on my review. However, kung may review center ka, may schedule sila, you will go to the place and you will be forced to study and attend. So ito yung isang nakikita kong sa mga advantages niya. Yung isa sa mga advantage ng review center ay meron silang sariling materials that you can use for your study. And another one is meron din silang sariling instructors. So kung may mga topics kang hindi naiintindihan or kailangan mo ng further clarification, ay may pwede kang mapagtanungan. So in my case, meron akong mga topics na mas lalo kong naintindihan kasi magaling mag-explain yung mga instructor na hindi ko siya masyadong na-comprehend nung college days pa ako. And another advantage is meron kang mga classmates and you can do group studies and discuss about the topics in order to enhance your study and knowledge. And while you are also talking with them, of course, you will also be talking about mga latest trends, yung mga possible topics na lalabas sa board exam. And they might also be your future network when you become a professional. Kasi yung mga classmate mo sa review center, baka in the future, they might be your future colleagues, your future co-workers, or makikita mo sa mga conferences. So it's good to also build a network sa review center. As I said in previous videos, ang review center ay isa lang sa mga tools na makakatulong sa atin to pass the board exam. The review actually starts in the classroom nung college ka and not in the review center. Kasi na-notice ko yung mga kilala kong hindi nakapass ng board exam, parang doon lang nila sa review center na study or na-comprehend yung mga topics na yon. The review center is only there to help you review the board exam and hindi na parang doon ka lang nagsimulang mag-study sa iyong course. So how can you make the most of the review center if ever you enroll? So one tip that I have for you is that you study before you enroll. So ideally, na-cover mo na yung topics on your own and have studied them before you step inside the review center. So the review center is only there to help you enhance your knowledge and kung ano na yung na-review mo. But I know that this tip cannot apply to everyone, especially sa mga walang time. But if you are studying for the board exam, you really need to allot time, kahit 30 minutes a day lang, to study. And if you really want to pass the board exam, you really have to make it your priority. Hanapan mo talaga ng oras in order to pass because the board exam, isang stepping stone ito to a better career or a better future. Make the most of the review center. So as much as possible, pag nandun ka, try to ask all the questions sa mga topics na hindi mo naintindihan, and really focus on the practice exam and studying the topics that they cover. For those who have enrolled in a review center, you can also comment down below yung mga experiences nyo in enrolling in a review center. So I will be sharing my experience sa review center. During my time, there were two kinds of review. Merong intensive at merong every Sunday lang for 12 weeks. So what I did was I really stayed in Manila for that 12 weeks in order to study. So lalo siyang nakatulong sa akin in order to pass the board exam. Actually, yung board exam review is more on may magle-lecture and you will be given time to answer the mock questions and also time to check the answers. And in my experience, hindi naman lahat ng na-cover sa review center ay lalabas sa board exam. Actually, siguro mga 10 or 25% lang ng na-cover sa review center ang lumabas sa board exam. However, I still think that the knowledge that you gain in the review center is still helpful in your future career. And ang importante lang is that they give you time to practice the mock exams kasi ito naman talaga yung importante eh. Because in the board exam, multiple choice siya. So sometimes when you encounter questions na hindi ka masyadong sigurado, what will help you is to eliminate and deduce kung ano yung correct answer among the choices. So, in the review center, pinagpa-practice na kayong mag-answer ng mga mock exam. So, it will not be very difficult when the actual exam comes. But I did not regret enrolling in a review center and malaki rin yung naitulong nito sa akin. It's good to enroll in a review center but hindi naman siya talaga kailangan to pass the board exam. Kung kaya mong mag-enroll, then do so. But for those who self-review lang ang kaya, there is also a good chance for you to pass if you really exert your own effort. So I have this video on how to succeed in the board exam even while just self-reviewing. So that's all for this video about review centers, and if you have any topics you want to suggest, you can comment down below. So see you in the next video.